Can you remember what the instructions say in Task 1 of the academic writing test? Let me remind you. The instructions tell you to summarise the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. So what does this mean exactly? Well, it means that you need to transfer information that is given visually into a clear and comprehensive written summary. You need to do more than simply list information. You need to identify, present, highlight, and illustrate the important features of the visual and organise the information that you're giving in a logical way so that it's easy for your reader to follow. Let's look at an example of how you can do this. So, let's begin with a look at the question. Here are the instructions, which don't change for IELTS Academic Task 1 writing. So as you know, you should spend about 20 minutes on the task and write at least 150 words. And you need to summarise the information in the visual by selecting, reporting, and comparing the information. Now, let's look at the type of visual we have to describe. We're told that it's a flow chart. Do you remember what a flow chart is? We're also told that the flow chart depicts different sources of natural gas and shows how it's distributed. Where does the gas that we use in our homes come from? So now, let's look at the flow chart. Can you see the title? Can you see the key features that I've circled? And can you also see the blue arrows connecting the key features? This is all important information that we'll want to include in our answer. But first, we need to come up with an overview of what this flowchart is all about. The title helps us a little. We're told that this diagram illustrates natural gas production and distribution. But let's just see if we can get any more information from the visual. Storage seems to also be an important stage in the process. So for our overview, we can say that this flowchart depicts natural gas production, storage, and distribution. Now, let's go on to look at how we can select and group the information in the visual when we write the rest of the summary. This visual is a flowchart, so it's describing a process. Now, the first thing we need to do is decide where to begin our description of this process. Where would be a logical place to start? How about over here on the left? In English, we generally expect to see information presented from left to right, rather than from right to left. So that's one clue. And the second clue is that if you look at the direction of the arrows, they all start from here. So it would make sense to start with these sources of natural gas, gas wells, oil wells, and imports. Notice how I've grouped these three key features together because they are all sources. Now, follow the arrows and keep going right to the middle of the diagram. I'm going to group these key features together when I talk about how the gas is stored and piped between the storage areas. Next, I want to focus on how the gas is transported from the regional storage facility to the retail storage facility. And finally, how it makes its way from there to the home, where the retail customer is. So, now let's look at an example answer which identifies and presents these key features in an organised and logical way. The answer should group the features as we've tried to do, rather than just present a list of features in random order that aren't connected in any way. Notice how the writer begins with an overview of the whole process, which has three main parts: production, storage, and distribution. Then, as we suggested, start your description of the key features in the flowchart with the sources. Continue your description by describing how the gas is stored. And finally, finish your description by talking about how the gas is distributed to customers. Why don't you take a moment now to read the whole response? So, I hope you now have a better understanding of how to select and group information in Task 1 of the IELTS Academic Writing Test. I'm sure you're ready now to do some practice to help you build some more skills around selecting and grouping information from the visual.